Okay, today I'm doing a video on exercise and lower level movement. This is oftentimes harder than the eating portion in recovery for many people. Definitely was for me. Giving up exercise, I felt like was seriously one of the hardest decisions I had to make. And I feel like because I did is really the only reason I was able to fully recover. I would always say like, no, don't, like, I'll cut back on exercise so it's more normal, but I'll just eat more. Like, just let me eat more. I'm going to eat more. That's my plan. I'm going to eat, like, every time I do any kind of exercise, I'm just going to make sure I'm eating more and I'm going to be fine. And I tried that and I tried that and I tried that for so long and it never worked. And so I finally got to the point where I was like, yeah, I have to stop exercise. And it wasn't until I fully stopped exercise that I felt like I was even able to eat unrestrictedly, because I think what happened prior to me stopping exercise cold turkey was I was kind of like, what's even the point of eating unrestrictedly? Because I kind of know that I still have this other big beast that I'm kind of neglecting or ignoring by still exercising, that I know I'm not going to be able to rewire anything. I know I'm not going to be able to recover if I'm still exercising. So I'm still going to kind of play it safe with food too. So I felt like the two were just so tightly linked and correlated that I had to tear them apart. And I had to do that by completely going cold turkey. And then also really diving in like aggressively to the unrestricted eating at the same time. So a couple of tips on how, or tools you can use on how to overcome this movement compulsion. Formal exercise or lower level movement. So I'm talking about both in this video. One tip, and this one sounds kind of silly, but something that I found very effective and helpful with clients that I work with is when let's say they're having a lower level movement issue with like going up and down the stairs or taking the longer route, I don't know, on campus if they're in school, or laundry. That's a really common one, going, taking multiple trips back and forth, or just being unable to sit down. Something I want you to practice is when you're doing that actual thing. Now, obviously, if you're in public, you can't be screaming this, but if you're doing this thing, let's say you're at home, I want you to say, I am not in recovery right now. I am not in recovery right now. Because you're not. In that moment, when you're giving into that lower level movement compulsion, you're not in recovery. And by saying that out loud, it's like you can't deny it, because we're so good at denial, right? We're so good at rationalizing and justifying. No, like I did need to go up and down the stairs. No, I did need to do that. It made sense. Like people do that. And so instead of kind of like allowing yourself to believe what you're doing is okay, if you're saying those words out loud, kind of registering to your brain, yeah, maybe this isn't okay. It doesn't feel the same. You're not going to get that same little buzz and high from moving when you're saying out loud, I am not in recovery right now. So that's one tool you can use. Another one is calling someone, right? Especially with like formal exercise where it's like, I'm about to tie up my shoes and head to the gym, or I'm going out for that walk. Call someone, or even just text someone. Or if you're working with me, send me an email or send me a message or something. I'm not going to get it right away probably, but just knowing someone on the other end is there. So you can say, like, let's say you're feeling really, really tempted to go for a walk. And go, oh my gosh, email, okay. I feel really tempted to go for a walk right now, and I know I'm committed to cold turkey, so I just want to make sure that I am committed right now, and I'm letting you know that I will not go on that walk. And then, of course, once I get to that email or message, I'm going to follow up and be like, so did you go on it? And you're going to know there's some accountability on the other end. So if that's not a coach, then that's a friend or a partner or whatever, but reaching out like immediately when you're feeling that temptation. So that's two. The third thing would be, and this is something that is going to sound so silly, but something that is really helpful for a lot of people is when you're feeling unable to just sit down and be still, and you find yourself going from one thing to the next, and you know it's lower level movement. If you're in a place where you can lay flat on the ground, this is kind of like a grounding exercise. You can lay flat on the ground with your head just straight down on the floor and just lay there. Take some really big deep breaths and lay there for a couple of minutes. You don't need to lay there forever, but lay there for a couple minutes to let that wave of anxiety where you feel like you're absolutely like out of control and not able to hold still, you just stay there flat on the ground, arms to your side, face flat down, take some really big deep breaths, and you're going to feel your whole body sort of calm down. And don't get up until you feel like it's calmed down, like that wave of anxiety and that urgency to move has kind of died down. Then you can get up and then go and sit down. But that's something that I've had clients practice doing, and it's been really helpful as well. And the fourth thing is two, and I'm forgetting what my fourth thing was because I never have anything written down. What was it? Oh, the most important thing. When you're feeling the urge to move, it's often mental hunger. Eat. You have got to. So in addition to all these tools I just gave you, first and foremost, go and eat something really challenging. The reason most of the time that you're wanting to move is because you're mentally hungry. You're looking for a way to earn the ability to eat. So by movement, you feel like you can do that. You're also looking for ways to fill your time. So you're trying to distract yourself from wanting to eat. Again, it always goes back to looking for ways to allow yourself to be able to eat, or looking for ways to distract yourself from being able to eat. So that would be the most important tool of all of these, and I can't believe I almost forgot it, is when you're feeling that sense to move, you go and eat. Okay? And honestly, that is a really, really helpful thing that I did myself in recovery. Every time that I felt that urgency to move, I thought, oh, okay, this is a red flag. This must mean that I'm hungry. And it was terrifying at first to replace movement with food. But the more I did it, the more I kind of settled into, oh, actually, in some ways, like I do feel more calm. In some ways that did kind of like trump my like crazy anxiety about feeling like I needed to move, and just let me feel a little bit more calm. And it's because really what your brain wants is food. It doesn't want to be moving right now, but you've just kind of conditioned it to believe that anytime it feels anxious, or anytime you start, kind of feeling or thinking about food, you just go and move. It's just like this autopilot response. And so really kind of tap into that and acknowledge the fact that that is mental hunger. Sit down, eat something, practice all those other tools I just listed. And if you have any other ones, you're listening to this video and you have other ones that you found are really helpful for you, I know this is a huge challenge for people in recovery, and it's absolutely imperative that you work on it. And so if you have any other tips, then please leave them below in the comments. All right, have a good day. Bye.